review trigonomic functions. The two basic trigonomic functions are cosine and sine. When using a unit circle, cosine will be represented by the x value and sine will be represented by the y value. The other trigonomic functions, tangent. Tangent is sine over cosine, or in terms of x and y, tangent is y over x. Cotangent, cosine over sine, can be changed to x over y. And secant, which is 1 over cosine, can be changed to 1 over x. And cosecant, 1 over sine, is the same as 1 over y. Title of the next section is Find the exact value of each trigonomic function. Given the basic trigonomic functions and the unit circle, you can find the exact value for any point on the unit circle. First question we'll look at is the sine of 300 degrees. To find the sine of 300 degrees on the unit circle, you can first locate 300 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant in the bottom right hand of the unit circle. The sine value again is the y value. So the sine of 300 means the same as the y value of 300 degrees, which would be negative radical 3 over 2. So using the unit circle, finding the exact value of sine of 300 degrees, the sine value would be negative radical 3 over 2. Second question is tangent of 5 pi over 3. Again, you want to first locate 5 pi over 3 on the unit circle. 5 pi over 3 is also in the bottom right quadrant, the fourth quadrant. The tangent, looking back at the definitions, is y over x. So using 5 pi over 3, we can take the two values, y divided by x. The y value of 5 pi over 3 is negative radical 3 over 2. And divided by the x value of 5 pi over 3 would be 1/2. So again, the tangent is the y divided by x. Simplifying, if we're dividing by a fraction, dividing by 1/2. Instead of dividing by 1/2, we can multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 2 over 1. Multiplying straight across, or we can also cross cancel the 2's. We'll be left with negative radical 3 over 1, which is the same as negative radical 3. So the tangent of 5 pi over 3 is the same as negative radical 3. And last question for the section. Secant of 19 pi over 6. First again, you want to locate, if possible, 19 pi over 6 on the unit circle. 19 pi over 6 is not on the unit circle. The reason for that, if you do 19 divided by 6, 6 goes into 19 actually 3 times with 1 left over. The unit circle again only goes up to 2 pi. So if 19 divided by 6 is bigger than 2, 19 pi over 6 will not be on the unit circle. To look this value up though, what we can do is find a coterminal angle. If the angle is too big for the unit circle, we can subtract off a coterminal angle to find a smaller angle to look up. In terms of pi, if you remember, you can subtract 2 pi, since 2 pi is 1 revolution in radians around the circle. Taking 19 pi over 6 and subtracting 2 pi, getting common denominators for 2 pi over 1, that would be the same as 12 pi over 6. 19 pi over 6 minus 12 pi over 6 would be 7 pi over 6. 7 over 6 is less than 2, So 7 pi over 6 should be on the unit circle, and it will have the same secant value as 19 pi over 6. Locating 7 pi over 6 on the unit circle, that would be in the third quadrant in the bottom left-hand side. Looking for the secant value. Secant, again, is 1 over x. So the 1 would stay the same, and we want the x value for 7 pi over 6, which will be negative radical 3 over 2. Simplifying from here, we cannot have a fraction in the denominator, and we also cannot have a square root or radical in the denominator. Dividing by a fraction, we can first multiply by the reciprocal. Negative radical 3 over 2 would be 2 over negative radical 3. 1 times 2 over negative radical 3 would stay the same, so we'd have 2 over negative radical 3. And again, we cannot have a radical inside the denominator. To cancel out a radical, if you remember, you can multiply by that same radical, radical 3, for the numerator and denominator. Multiplying straight across, 2 times radical 3 would be 2 radical 3. The denominator, radical 3 times radical 3, would be radical 9 or square root 9, which would be 3. And bringing the negative over, we'll have the answer of negative 2 radical 3 over 3, which is secant of 7 pi over 6, which is the same as secant of 19 pi over 6.